Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, I have a very special giveaway for you guys, as the Swiss banker friend that I'm with right now, he's actually told me that he will allow it if I give away 250 of his XRP to one of you guys. And for the first time, we're going to be giving away 250 to one person instead of doing it 25, 25, 25, 25. So all you have to do to enter this one is make sure you press the like button, be subscribed, comment down below your favorite crypto, and make sure you follow me over on Twitter. It's going to be checked, it's going to be verified, so please guys don't miss any of them. And this giveaway, because it's a little bit bigger, will require 1,000 likes on this video. So briefly do that and you've automatically entered. It's going to be huge. And if we hit it today, within 24 hours, we are announcing the giveaway live in a video tomorrow. All right, today we got some big stuff though, some big concepts, some big ideas, and I want to know from you guys what you think about all of this. So if you have a question, if you have a comment, put it down below and discuss it with others, because the connections are huge, guys. The playing field we're messing around with here, it's a dangerous one. All right, so the digital dollar is on standby. The digital yuan is on standby. The digital euro is on standby. The digital pound is on standby. XRP is the most important and greatest technology of our lifetime. Don't waste it. Now, this statement is actually a lot more important than you might really see straight off the bat here. First of all, he's actually missing a couple of currencies. There's actually a ton of smaller and other ones that are on standby and that are ready. But it also depends on how you want to view it. So there's a big difference between a dollar, and I would say a US CBDC, and a digital dollar. Why? Because a digital dollar could also be a stable coin, like for example USDT, Tether, because it's just really any coin that's pegged to the real US dollar, but then online, or only online. It's different. However, how I like to see it with digital dollar is the official digital dollar, which would be a US CBDC. And for the yuan, and for the euro, and for the pound, I would see them all as, for example, a Chinese, a real ECB, done central banking, whatever you guys get me right there, real from the highest authorities currencies. Now, what is also important to notice here is that those are all being talked about. They're all in the works, at least that's what we all know, right? Honestly speaking, guys, we all know they're all being worked on already. Even though some of these governments might not give any hints, we know they're being worked on right now, right as we speak. There's a little team working on getting that stuff done. It's just the truth. Now, what we do know, though, is that these currencies will work very well inside their own country borders, right? Why is that? Because, well, in any country here, just having a digital dollar can work really, really nicely. In the US, you have how many different states? 50? That would be an interesting one. But all different, states have actually got a different little dollar, right? There are different facilities in which they are printed. It all works a little bit differently. However, since there's a 0% interest rate and the exchange rate is just the same thing, you can use them interchangeably, but really they are a little bit different. What is important to note for that as well is that changes though a little bit when, for example, you start to look at different countries which have different exchange rates, which is why euro and US dollar, they're not the same, but they're a little bit different, right? So what happens then is dollar and euro, they're not the same, so you can't exchange them for the same thing. So what are you going to do then if you want to buy something in Europe then, right? They have digital dollar, you have digital US dollar. They have digital euros, you have digital dollars. What are you going to do? Well, one thing you could try is, be like, you know what? I can send you US dollars and you just, I'll send you the amount of euro you want in US dollars. But the guy's like, no, I want euros. I don't give a crap about your stupid currency that's failing because of QE. I want only my euros. You're like, all right, let's go look for a exchange center. He's like, man, I want it now within 5 minutes or I'm out. You want to buy something really, really nice, good deal. He's like, I'll give you 5 minutes to think of something or it's going to go to the next buyer. You're like, damn, I only have my US dollars. What am I going to do now? You look over at exchange, you look. You don't know how it all works. It's also difficult. And all of them say, hey, it's going to take another day and a half. Why? Because that's the system, all right? It's going to take a long time. It's all like, oh, you want to buy something for $5? Yeah, it's going to be a $1.5 fee. But that's going to be, that's going to be 20%. You're like, yeah, sure, whatever, buddy. Should have done more money. Should have done, used a different way to send it. You're like, damn, is there no cheaper way? Well, yes, there is, guys. And that is why a lot of these exchanges right now are going to be working with Ripple, are going to be working with XRP. Why? Because they have got the framework to make everything so much cheaper, so much more efficient, and so stable. One of the things I just said here is Europe, those guys don't want the US dollar. Why? Because these things, they don't trust each other, right? In the US, within the country borders, all of those 50 different states, they trust each other because they're all under the central authority, right? They all fall under the Fed, which is also why we trust in paper money. It's also why we trust in the US dollar itself, because it's a trusted system, which all relies on the central bank and, of course, the government itself. If those authorities fall, then the US dollar becomes worthless. Same for any other currency in any other country. If the central authority falls, the currency becomes worthless. You saw it in Venezuela. The country itself is just really not trusted anymore, so the currency just fails, right? It could also be due to printing, but it still comes down to what the upper side has decided. Now, knowing all of that, it's really obvious to me, and most likely to you guys as well, that there will not be mutual trust between people who own US dollar and who own euro. They will not just want to exchange it for free. They don't just want your dollar. They don't give a crap about your dollar. Like you get with that, I want to say with my thing. So they're going to have to need a remittance, an intermediary currency there to make sure you can easily switch it over without having to do it yourself. Because you want to change dollar to euro, maybe there's an exchange that does that instantly on its own because they have the pair open, right? It's a possibility. However, that would require you to go on an exchange and do everything yourself. Things become a lot differently then because you can already do that now if you want to, right? You can just trade Forex if you want to. You can just quickly go from US dollar to euro in the split of a second. You're going to have to withdraw and do things like that, but it's possible. However, the whole purpose here is for all the non-tech savvy people and for all the bigger guys out there, because still FX, there's still a certain way that it all moves, right? And so in the back end, because XRP is never used in the front end, it's always in the back end, it still could use XRP even when you're using an exchange yourself. It could, because on the back end, those banks or the providers still have to, transfer it over and change it over the money. But it's more so for the idea that you want to walk into the store here. You're like, you know what? I want to buy something in euro, so man, I give you some dollars. You send them some euros. So they're like, sure. How much is it going to cost? Nothing. It's 1 cent. You won't even notice it. You're like, oh, damn. And why is that all possible? Because things like XRP have popped up, which really make it possible to send money across the world so cheaply and so quickly, so easily. And it doesn't require you to have all types of accounts in different countries and different parts of the world. No, it's so simple, which is, I think, why so many people are into it. And which is also why I'm seeing more and more connections and people just coming to me. For example, this is from April. Bank of America executive lifts lid on Ripple partnership, right? We were all so excited about that when they came out. Steta said on Twitter, we are partnering with fintechs like Ripple or Swift. Julie Harris, head of global banking, Bank of America. It's about you as a client and the infrastructure you have and the ability for us to integrate, whether that's with platforms and capabilities that we built or partnership that we have with the likes of Ripple or Swift. These are fintechs that we are partnering with. Julie Harris, head of global banking digital strategy, BoA. Now, what have we been seeing the last couple of days? I saw a title from, what's his name now? The Bearable Bull, who talked about a connection with Warren Buffett. I've been checking it out. And the only one that's like a couple of days old is this article right here, which says Warren Buffett buys Bank of America stock as others hedge. Who's right? But the last ones, these three, are all coming from within the last 24 hours, right? So this one, Warren Buffett's Berkshire has been buying up lots of banks in America. It can go up to a nearly 25% stake. This one right here, did Warren Buffett, or actually why did Warren Buffett invest more in Bank of America and actually other banks? And Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway lifts Bank of America's stake to 1 billion shares. So they've been buying a ton of them. And here you can see late Thursday, the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway disclosed that units of the company paid $522 million from July 28th through 30 for 21.2 million more shares of Bank of America, an average per share price of 24.65. Buffett made the disclosure in a form he filed with the SEC. That is a lot of money. That is a lot of movement, and that is a lot of connections to make. First of all, Bank of America itself, that is pretty huge, right? I think all of you guys can guess that already. It's pretty huge they're buying into Bank of America because we know that Bank of America has a connection between Ripple, Swift, and I guess the triad, right? They're in there. But also, like this one just says here, and I just messed up by not becoming a subscriber, I guess. Maybe I can just turn it off real quick. Pause on this site. Let's try reload it here. Yes. Why? Yeah, I think so. Why did Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway invest $1.7 billion in Bank of America. These analysts have some idea. And which one was the other one? What was the other one? Bank of America. There's also one article where it said they were buying, a lot of different banks. But it's all fine. I guess I lost it now. It's no biggie. But yeah, they've been adding so much into Bank of America, and at least some of my sources said they're buying into a lot of different banks too. Maybe I didn't even have it in here and I just read it out loud, but wrong. Could be, guys, but trust me, I saw it somewhere, so it's all going to be fine. I think, maybe they know a little bit more about the system than we do. For example, maybe Warren Buffett, because he's so high up, he's such a, billionaire for such a long while. He's got such a huge, pool of connections. Maybe he knows more about what is happening in the banking realm than we do. Maybe he wants to make sure that these banks are getting the support. He wants to be part of that. But also, maybe it's a little bit more like the stuff we've been seeing earlier. Like, for example, here. In 2018, this is, by the way, from the Ripple Labs Wikipedia page, CEO claimed on multiple occasions, again, this is regarding Brad Garlinghouse, the Ripple CEO, that by the end of the year, major banks would be using Ripple tools that made use of the XRP cryptocurrency, and that by the end of 2019, dozens of banks would be using XRP. Both claims by the end of 2019 were proven to be untrue. In 2018 and 2019, Garlinghouse claimed on multiple occasions that the published error rate for SWIFT messaging was at least 6%. This was shown to be untrue by research published by the London School of Economics Business Review that showed Garlinghouse's claims were based on misreading of a paper published by SWIFT that did not refer to error rates in messaging. So I'm going to say the first part is actually not really untrue, all right? From 2018 on forward, he's actually been saying, we're going to get some major banks hopping on, and dozens of banks will be using ODL. I don't really know if he's mistaken, if he's really, really wrong, or if he's just, not publicly announcing it, and that the writer of this article just maybe didn't do his research properly, or this part. Because it's really, really difficult to see exactly what type of partnerships they have, because where have they published it, right? Where did they tell us exactly what partnerships they had? I don't know. I don't know if they have to at all. I don't really know what the structure is like in America, what type of things you have to put in your review each year. But I don't think they had to put any of that in, and especially the fact that it's end of 2019. How could they know so fast that they didn't, get it? Because right now we're just in August of 2020. We're not that far away from the end of 2019. So I don't know if you could have already gotten that info, right? And then this part, I think it was just a good marketing strategy where you just get some stuff that looks really obvious. You manipulate the truth a little bit to make yourself sound better. That's just, I guess, grade A marketing, just really, really smart. Swift, is something that they can comply with, they can work with, but it's to a certain degree also competition, right? We all know Swift is innovating. We all know Swift is trying their best. If you can put them down a little bit further, honestly speaking, I would do the same thing. If I'm competing, for example, if I'm Pepsi, or no, if I'm Coca-Cola, you're trying to compete with Pepsi, you're going to try to put them down a little bit. They wrote something, you're going to be like, yeah, look at this. You exaggerate parts which might not even be relevant or important. You might, grab some small parts out of it. You can see it as really smart managing or, lying, but I just see it as doing some very, very great business where if people really wanted to know and are educated about the system, they would know it themselves. You only got to watch out with really false advertising, where if it's really plain wrong, what you're saying, where it's a lie, where it's really untrue to the fullest, where it's not going to be misunderstood by almost everybody, but it's really just a lie that's made up. Yeah, don't do that. That's going to be stupid. But try to bend the truth a little bit where you're like, look what they said here, and you just grab some little parts which really, would not make sense to other people, but you can point them out to make yourself look better. I think I would have done the same thing, so I'm not going to be too much of a douche on that one. And yeah, just a couple other things I've been looking into today. A lot of cool stuff. For example, by the way, this. What the frick is this, right? This is a Russian guy, I think, maybe. But he just takes a lot of videos and just posts them again, or what? Because I just checked, and I see a couple of my thumbnails in here, right? The ones that I made, like these two here. I made these thumbnails because, again, I can see that I made them. Well, but basically when I checked them, it was not my head. It was just something else. Somebody else. And I don't know if somebody else also took my thumbnail and he just took that one once more. But here's, for example, Sam I Am. You can see his head clearly. The Bitcoin backer, or was it bull backer? No, I think it's Bitcoin backer. In that, you can see, Working Money Channel, and a couple of other ones. I don't really know the names of a lot of these. A lot of them are Russian as well. A lot of these guys are just taking their videos and publishing them, which is not really, if he wants to do that, I mean, I could just claim it if you want to, but I don't really care about that type of stuff. However, it's getting tons of views. You look at this one. 20 hours ago, 8.3K views. And this one, 19 hours ago, 2.3K. I'm wondering, what was going on there? You know, like how can it do so good? And even when I checked, it had like 400 likes and all of that. So what happened? Did Sam I Am quit all the way where you have to look really, really hard to get his content anymore? Or how does that work? Because I know he used to be really, really big in the space, but the riddles, maybe they've fallen apart a little bit or not. I don't know. So what do you think about riddles, by the way? XRP riddles and all of that. Do you still believe in that? I'm kind of wondering for you guys, man. Really wondering. But yeah, let's see if I had anything else. Oh yeah, either we ran out of XRP or Fiat Leak crashed. It's because Fiat Leak, which is not loading all of a sudden anymore, yeah, just really stopped all of a sudden with their movements of XRP. Is the video or what it showcased? That's not moving anymore. And I think that was actually most of what we got for today. Yeah. That was actually it. All right, so really this one was most likely having to do with the big crash or literally just his internet, you know, where it's all stuck. And maybe it's not Fiat Leak who crashed, but it's just his web browser. Like, for example, this video is not loading for me either, even though I have perfect internet. So, you know, I don't really know. Other contract, let's see here. There's a little picture. Is Fiat Leak struggling to keep up with XRP? They say yes, because maybe the volume is just so high. They didn't really expect it all. They're not, you know, prepared for it or for such a huge surge. And then maybe things hit the fan. It could also be the case. I mean, who cares? I don't know. I mean, Fiat Leak, they're doing their best, right? They're a good company. They're trying their hardest to help out with this. And all I can say is just good stuff. If they can't keep up once, I mean, it's just a positive thing. It's just a good thing to see that XRP is excelling so far that they can't even keep up with the power. Alright, but guys, that was it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I would definitely see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very nice day.